Good afternoon and welcome to this Monday's Chamber Chat. My name is Colin Diaz, President and CEO of the Culver City Chamber and your host for Chamber Chat. I am joined today by Liza Smith with KJLH radio station. Liza, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. So I know a good amount about the radio station, and I'm going to assume not nearly as much as you. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about the radio station, kind of the mission and direction?
Sure. Well, KJLH Radio, as you know, is owned and operated by Mr. Stevie Wonder. KJLH Radio has been in the community for close to 50 years now. The station started on Crenshaw Boulevard. In the last 30 years has been in the city of Inglewood on La Brea. KJLH Radio has been pretty much significant in the community for the past 50 years as being the voice of the people, voice of the community, definitely a station that is, for the community. When things happen in the community, listeners, they tune into KJLH for most up-to-date information in our direct communities.
That makes sense. So obviously we're all living through this kind of whirlwind of this pandemic through COVID-19. I've heard a little bit, and I'm not nearly driving as much, so I'm not as, listening to the radio as often, but why don't you touch on some of the things or the impact that you've seen either through the station or with the community that you all serve during the pandemic?
Yes, actually, our community, as you know, as a whole, has definitely been impacted, economically with our small businesses. In the city of Inglewood, we are directly in the heart of Inglewood, and the majority of those businesses have been affected by the COVID-19. Now a lot of, our surrounding cities as well has been affected, by this. So what KJLH has been doing is we've been really trying to super serve our small businesses in our surrounding communities, as well as the city of Inglewood, to assist with this current pandemic, rather it's doing PSAs, assisting with free testing sites, giving out PPE, products, for listeners, having designated areas where they can pick up PPE items, or just pretty much letting the community know where you can go to purchase them. So we've been just really trying to be of service to our community, as well as being of service to our clients, to assist them with either staying open because they're essential businesses, or assisting them with reopening because they're small businesses and the economy is opening one stage at a time.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because it seems like we do similar parts very differently, obviously, because we don't have the airwaves and the broad listener base. But
Yes.
As far as providing resources to businesses, helping them through the pandemic, and now as businesses are starting to rebuild, really either aligning them with people that can help them grow their business, helping them market, get their message out. I want you to touch on, because you and I have spoken about it, and I think it's a great program. What is it that the radio station is doing to assist businesses as far as getting their message out? What are some opportunities? I know there's a program that you guys have in place that you're looking at partnering with small businesses to help them elevate their brand.
Yeah, so what we've decided to do is in our community, so that we're able to touch a large amount of small businesses within individual communities, we have put together a package to where we're able to connect with the business chambers in each individual city to be able to connect with the small businesses as a whole. So what we've done is we've created a small business package, which consists of the elements of on-air as well as online streaming elements. And so this package will offer our chamber members to be able to purchase a cost-efficient package for either their reopening, or if they have been an essential business and they are looking to sustain their business throughout the pandemic, as well as let listeners know about their new social distancing practices, as well as the new hours, as well as if any services have changed. So we really wanted to come up with something that was cost efficient, as well as be able to build our partnership with the individual chambers. So what we've done is we've created a package to where if each individual chamber provides a package to a small business owner, if that small business owner purchases a package, with us at KJLH, then we will provide the Chamber of Commerce a certain amount of spots for you to utilize for any initiatives that you have. So there's no obligation to the chamber whatsoever. We're providing you free amount of spots for you to use at your leisure at a later date based on the leads that we are provided with the small business owners. So with that partnership, it helps us to build partnerships with the chambers as well as the small businesses in the area, and we can form more of a partnership.
Which makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think anytime you can go into a win-win-win scenario, obviously, you know, driving advertising to the radio station is a plus. And from the small business perspective, being able to tell their story or to share, you know, we just had a webinar the other day where we're talking about businesses now have an obligation to share with their employees and with their customers. What are they doing to keep people safe while also transacting their business, while also you know, promoting products and services, and how do you do that? You know, our marketing webinar that we had a while back, the conversation was, do you do print? Do you do radio? Do you do online? Do you do in person? Do you do phone calls, emails? And unlike any other time in our history, the answer is all of the above. And
All
you
of
know,
the above, yeah.
maybe
Well,
for some it
because
shifts. Yeah.
exactly. And I think it really shifts. And what I usually try to do as a marketing consultant, I usually try to find out from my client, what have you done in the past?
Right.
What has worked for you previously? And what can we do different today? What different services do you have? You may have a more of an online presence today than you did maybe 2-3 years ago. So that means that you need online presence as well as your word of mouth presence. Radio works as a form of word of mouth. So whatever you're doing, whether it's online or whether it's print, radio works as your word of mouth extension. You know, because, you know, back in the days, radio was the way that, you know, people got the word out. And so radio still works today because when everything else fails, you still have your radio to provide you that local, direct community information. So radio is always going to play a role as your word of mouth extension to your marketing piece.
That makes sense. And you guys have added through the years the online component, which is something that
Yes.
you've got a pretty large reach online. If you would, or if you could think of something high level, what type of, you know, demographics, you know, what is the breakdown, you know, male? I know it's pretty equal male to female as far as listeners, but how wide of a range, you know, so somebody in Culver City listening, do you have listeners that are, you know, on the west side and other parts? How wide of a broadcast does KJLH have?
Yes, actually, our listenership is, of course, our P1 listenership is definitely African American women 30 plus, 35 plus, you know, African American women and families, definitely 35 plus. I would say in our online listenership is anywhere between 25 plus African American as well, or just, you know, in general, is definitely at a 25 plus demographic. Our online streaming, online app, our banner ads, things like that. We have all of those elements, and we do have a pretty high reach in our listenership with our streaming components as well.
So you've talked about, you know, what KJLH has done through the years. You know, there's been a number of milestones. I remember even in December, the toy drive that you guys always do, and some of the other events that you have coming up. You know, Men's Health during the summer.
Yes.
What would you say, you know, because you talked, I think the program is a great opportunity for businesses, particularly that want to be cost effective and elevate their voice above competitors. So how does somebody go about doing that? Somebody's listening to us right now and they say, you know what, I at least want to sit down and have the conversation and see if this is for me. How would they go about doing that?
Yes, well, if a small business owner or any of your members, they would like to get in contact with me, I can be reached. Is it okay for me to give my
Sure.
information? Right? Yes, if any of your small business owners would like to get in contact with me for any consultation, or would you like for me to schedule time to come out and meet with you, or a Zoom call, I'm definitely available. My email address is lsmith@kjlhradio.com. Again, that's lsmith@kjlhradio.com. kjlhradio.com. And my direct telephone number is 323-635-9958. Again, that's area code 323-635-9958. And I'm available for, like I said, any Zoom calls, over the phone calls, or if any of your business members are currently open in their businesses right now, I'm more than happy to come by and speak with them in person and look and see what they're doing, in their prospective businesses, and see how KJLH can assist, whether it's online or on air, or if they would like to participate in some of our events that we currently have.
Well, I appreciate that, and something that you may not have shared, but I'd like to share. You've got Culver City roots, so
Yes.
you've been in the city. In fact, a few months ago when we had the Culver City bus launch or app launch, you were there with us, kind of in the trenches to celebrate that, and you've had your child or children have gone through the school system here, and you've been in Culver City for a while, and that bears noting because Culver City is still a very we're growing, but it's still a small town feel, and people like to have that connection. So you're very familiar with the terrain in Culver City and with a lot of the businesses. So as a parting thought, I don't want to take too much of your time. What would you like to either share about KJLH that maybe others don't know, or any key tip that you can give for in regards to advertising with KJLH?
Yes, well, I definitely would like to say that, I am definitely, very, familiar with the city of Culver City. I worked in Culver City for many years. My husband works for Culver City Bus Transportation. My daughter goes to school in the city of Culver City. We live adjacent to Culver City. So I am very familiar, with the city of Culver City. I'm very passionate about the city. I've done business with quite a few business owners in the city of Culver City, as well as the bus transportation as well. So I am very, connected with the city and the businesses within your city. Doing business with KJLH is pretty much the same feel as the city of Culver City. It's a community feel, it's a family feel. We are the voice of people, as well as we are able to personalize and create anything that our clients need. So if I have a client that has a specific idea, or they're looking for something creative, the good thing about KJLH is we're able to deliver on that. We're not pinned to only be able to do spots and dots. We can create anything that is beneficial for our client. So that allows us to be creative. It allows us to be passionate. It allows us to think out of the box with certain promotions and certain ad campaigns, as well as our listeners. Because KJLH has been in the community for 50 years, they trust us. So when we say something has a stamp of approval on it, our listeners know we get the stamp of approval. It's a good business. They provide good service because you know what? They're on KJLH. And KJLH is the radio station of the people. We are in the community. The majority of our staff, we live in the communities that surround the communities of KJLH. In KJLH, we're just a very family-oriented station. So when our clients work with us, they feel a sense of family and that we're going to take care of you because we are you. We're a small business just as well as you're a small business. So our passion is very equal when it comes to wanting to grow our small businesses within the community.
Wow, I think that was a pretty good summation, and appreciate your time of joining us today on this week's
Thank you for
Chamber
having
Chat.
me.
And we'll put your information at the end, but it's lsmith@kjlhradio.com, correct?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay, so we'll put that in, and we'll also put your phone number.
Okay.
I look forward to connecting a little bit more and
Definitely.
for businesses to be able to partner with you to elevate their brand. So.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Colin. I really appreciate you taking out the time for inviting me to be able to speak with your members, as well as give a little bit more history about KJLH and just, what we're doing in the community to just really help our small businesses, because we all want to make sure that we stay affluent and we stay being of service to our listeners in the community.
Very true. Well,
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and have a good one. And we'll make sure to let people know that the chamber sent you. So
Okay.
people will be contacting you soon. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You have a great day.